Hi everybody, welcome. Today I'm here with my best friend Andrea, and we're really excited because we're going to be talking with you about designing with native plants. We're going to go over a whole bunch of different ideas that you can consider in designing a native landscape project for your own garden. So, are you ready to dig in, Andrea?
I sure am, Mike.
Let's grow. When you're looking to design your own native landscaping, you need to start with a strong foundation. And the first thing I recommend is to know your USDA hardiness zones, and I have them up here for you. And with knowing your hardiness zones, you can use that knowledge to research plant communities that will do well in your region. And there's 3 takeaways I'd like you to know about that. You want to know your USDA hardiness zone where you live in the United States. You want to explore plant species that do well in your soil type and also the aesthetic you want to do. So you want to build up that native plant vibe that you want. And you also want to look at compounding benefits, the use of native or resilient plants. I, for one, like to use both native and naturalized that are non-invasive, but they're naturalized and they work well in the community for biodiversity. I like to use that tandem or that dual use of both native and non-native naturalized. But these compounding benefits of biodiversity helps in a multitude of ways, and it also can help bring in wildlife, which is always a good thing. After your research is complete, and one thing I want to point out here is that I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different types of trees that I've used in the past, that I've designed for some projects that I worked on for the Forestry Department for Miami-Dade County or the Parks Department in Miami-Dade County, and those will help give you some of that information that you can create this vibe. So we're going to get to that in a second, but I want to first talk about sketching it out. You want to develop a conceptual landscape plan for your native garden, and I have an example up here for you to show you what I go through in that process. And there's 3 main takeaways that I want you to know so you design your garden right. You want to draw it out, you want to sketch a layout of your garden, including paths, planting beds, and different areas for shade and sun-loving plants. You also want to take in consideration functionality and local regulations. Design a garden so it suits your needs, but it also has good functionality and it meets code. For example, you don't want to put plants that are not on your property. You also don't want to put plants that are going to block sight triangle views at intersections. And the last takeaway is to create harmony. You want to consider color, texture, scale. You want to create a harmonious flow of your design. And the third thing that I want to go over you, which is very important, is how to avoid common gardening mistakes. All the best designs in the world will not do you any good if your garden falls apart after it's installed. So there's 3 main takeaways here as well. You want to make sure you install your plants at grade. Do not set them too low, do not plunge them, because that can suffocate them. The other thing is you also want to put the right plant in the right place. We've done videos on that on our channel, so you can look to that if you'd like to know more about putting the right plant in the right place, but that's very important. You don't want to put a tree under a power line or some plant on top of a utility. And the last thing is you want to observe your plants over time. You want to monitor your garden to ensure your plants do well. Now on to the main event. First off, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of native trees, as well as native palms and native shrubs and ground covers that you can consider to help you, create that vibe that I mentioned earlier. And then I'm going to walk you through some garden designs, and I'll have call outs of the plant materials. So this can help inform you and help you dream up your native garden design. And to kick it off here, we have the Gumbo Limbo, one of my all-time favorites. And we also have the majestic live oak here. Both the gumbo and the live oak are very wind resistant, but you do need to give them room, especially the live oak. As you can see, these trees can get enormous. When you look at the plant ID badges here, take a note of those zones where the plants grow in so you can use that for your region. The West Indies mahogany, some people don't like to use it because of the nuts that form on the seed pods, and they can be an issue, and some people say that mahoganies can tend to be a little invasive, but they are native to Florida and they're really cool. I like using them, especially when you see them with the new spring flush, as you can see here in this grove. So beautiful. From here on out, I'm going to do more limited commentary. The trees are the stars, and I'm going to showcase them here for you. You'll have the badges that talk about the plant material, and here and there I'll jump in to do some more commentary as we go along. I just love the early morning dew on the pine needles here. It's so pretty. Fun fact about the Lysoloma and many natives is that they're a big wildlife magnet. So it's very good. That's that compounding effect that I mentioned earlier. Look at this green buttonwood, y'all. Look how sculptural she is. So beautiful. A cool thing about the sea grape is that in the spring, she has like this reverse fall color. Her leaves will actually change. Some will go red, yellow, green and red. It's really cool. There's quite a bit of a leaf drop. So this tree, you do have to understand there'll be tons of leaves on the ground when this happens, but it's really cool. And the sea grape also produces this wonderful fruit. Many people use it to make jams. I haven't done so in the past, but I'd love to know if you guys have. So let me know in the comments below. One thing to know about cinnamon bark is that you guys should try to plant it wherever you can. It's an endangered species, but I've been able to source plenty of them, and I put many in our parks in Miami-Dade County. It's very good to try to bring this plant back. So it's a really cool Florida native, doesn't get too big, has these beautiful berries, kind of like what the Dahoon holly has, but it's such a pretty little tree. Another Florida native that I just love is the Simpson stopper. It doesn't get too large. You can grow it as a large shrub or a small tree. There's also the Jamaican caper, which that's a really cool, tough one, as well as Lignum vitae. I don't have Lignum vitae shown in this video because I've done it in another video, but if you'd like to know more about that, just again, leave me notes in the comment below or in our email. Here you can see us pointing to the Florida maple. That's a really cool tree, grows more from Central Florida and up. Spectacular fall color. There's different types of the red maple or Florida maple. Some have red color, some have an orange tinge. They're just beautiful. American holly is a really tough tree. You just have to be aware of those sharp spines on those leaf tips. I know I have a lot of favorites, but the Florida dogwood is like one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely love this tree. I also love the pink dogwood. So beautiful, right? Just, you guys, these trees are so pretty. With sables, I wanted to show you this example of what a dogleg is. If you put your palms too close together, less than 8 feet, they're gonna get these curving legs to them to reach for the sunlight. Now they can look kind of cool over time, but many times they kind of look distorted because the sable grows so slow and it can kind of look awkward. So you want to avoid that. You want to at least space them out 10 feet apart or more. I absolutely love muley grass, super tough plant, and this sucker grows all the way from zone 6 to 11. What a cool grass. Beautiful pink plumes in the fall. One thing about the firebush is that it's a butterfly magnet as well as a hummingbird magnet. ergo the name hummingbird bush. Such a tough Florida native. You can also grow these as a small tree, a multi-trunk tree. That's a really cool thing to do. That's a really cool thing I've been recommending for some folks to do in their gardens. One thing I like about the horizontal cocoa plum is you don't need to trim her so much, so it's less maintenance overall. I absolutely love the American Beauty berry, super tough plant, and look at these berries. Great wildlife attractor, but they're so striking, aren't they? This little nugget here, the powder puff mimosa, such an unbelievable ground cover. It looks fake, doesn't it? It literally is the flower in Horton Hears a Who. So pretty, absolutely adorable. This picture I took here for a park project I did a few years ago, and they were flowering like crazy, and they really look like this, y'all. So pretty. Okay, there's just so many more. I just don't want to make this video 20 hours long. There's like porterweed and the milkweed and the yellow top here, as well as the pyramid flower and the frog fruit. So I'll look to incorporate these in future videos. And now what I'd like to do is show you some Dreamy gardens, and I'll have call outs which talk about the plant material in there so it can help guide you or help inspire you in your gardening needs. Please enjoy. Now I'd like to point out that I'm working on a master native tree and palm list. I'm still compiling it here. I've got 101 of my favorites. Again, me and my favorites. But the thing is, I want to get readily available plants that you can acquire. Sometimes there's natives that are out there, but you can't source them. So I'm trying to get you a list that's really usable for you. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel so you catch these videos when I upload them. We hope this was informative and you got a lot of great ideas for your own native garden design. Andrea, did you like looking at all those ideas, those native plants and garden design ideas?
They were beautiful. I loved it.
Did you have like I know there's a lot of natives, but do you have some natives that just call to you that you really love?
I love the look of the muhly grass.
Yeah.
It reminds me of an impressionist painting.
Yeah, they're so pretty when they flower, right? They're just
And
beautiful.
Also,
Beautiful.
Also the
Stoppers.
stoppers
The stoppers,
that
yes.
bring the gorgeous wildlife.
Yeah, butterflies, bees, and birds.
And
yes.
birds.
And
What
they're
could be
great
better?
understory plants.
Yep.
And over here, to show you a little bit something that I've worked on in the past, these are recycled Australian pine trees. So we're taking an invasive and actually have recycled it and use it actually for a playground experience. And we just wanted to share that with you, that you can also look at other objects. And when you're designing for a sustainable garden, incorporate native plants is going to really help you go a long way because they don't need a lot of maintenance. But you can also consider recycling stuff and doing really cool stuff with things that you have that you want to just discard, well, maybe recycle them, and you can bring them into your garden space.
Wonderful.
So, until the next video, bye.
Bye.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And tell your friends and family. We post videos weekly. Thanks.